Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Final Fantasy's Pixel Reloaded. Did a little bit of off-screen grinding, which is I got to like 3 or 4 fights, and my thing just crashed the desktop. That was weird. I don't know what happened there. So we got 30 potions, 10 antidotes, and 1 tent. I'm hoping that's enough. I was really thinking about grinding it out till I had the required, 99 potions, 99 antidotes thing, but this game, your characters are more powerful out of the gate. Even though the enemies are slightly more powerful, mostly it's the bosses. So I think we're going to be okay. And until we keep running into groups of jerks like this, and they're running away, because that's always fun. Wow, that was a pretty good crit. So crits ignore your armor, so that did the full damage to Arthur, which is always funny. And it looks like I'll be crashing into those potions a little bit sooner than I planned on. So there's 2 things that we can do here. Because there's multiple floors to this cave. Now, the top floor has some goodies. That was probably a waste, to be completely honest. And we're going to drop a save here. Now, some of those goodies are not super useful. There's a dagger in there, but I think there's also a silver bracelet, which would be useful. So, we're going to go top first. And if that doesn't work, if we wind up getting killed or something like that, we'll just rush the bottom floor if need be. But we're level 10, which is fairly high for Marsh Cave. So I think we're going to be alright. I think we're level 10. Yeah, we're level 10. Didn't actually level up when I was picking those extra couple fights for a little bit more extra money. And I didn't have any of the boosters on. So now we got our level up. Let's see what we get for level 11. Decent stats, but crap on HP, stamina, and agility. That's not bad. Good HP growth there. Agility and stamina again with, You know what? Honestly, this is not a bad spread for the Red Mage. Suck got some strength, which means he's going to hit a little bit harder. A little more stamina for hit points, and another point of intellect. That's good, but 3 HP. Jesus. I don't know if it's a matter of the Red Mage working as intended now, or when they did the balances for... Oh, I don't want to fight this fight. I don't know, maybe he got, like, balanced down. Not nerfed, necessarily, because like I said, you get to level 99 and it all evens out. See, that's a dagger that the Black Mage would use. Yeah, it's not so good for you. Definitely not good for you, and you can't use it anyway. So that's just something that we'll sell. That's fine. So there's a chest there, and 2 chests down at the bottom. I think one of them has a bracelet in it, and I gotta remember, I can run. I'm not used to that. And paralyzed. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to fight that fight. Some money, always useful. And we don't want to fight these guys because they're very resistant to physical damage, which is the majority of what we're doing. I don't want to waste spell slots on them. And they poison you, and they're just, it's not worth it. Money and XP to whatever is not worth it. And yeah, I don't want to fight werewolves and get poisoned. Potion and more money. Okay, so that wasn't really to our benefit, but I will at least say that we got some extra money out of it, and it didn't cost us anything. So, and I've made this comparison in the last episode. This is basically you're playing 2nd edition D&D. D&D, more than anything else, is about resource management. You go into a dungeon with your group. How many potions do you have? How many times can your cleric cast healing? How many times can your wizard throw a fireball? things like that. And as you go deeper into the dungeon, you start burning resources. And do you have enough to get to the bottom, fight the boss, get the big treasure, and get back out? This version of Final Fantasy, because this does not apply to all of them, operates in the same manner. Do you have enough resources to get to the dungeon? Now, early on, yeah, that's kind of a problem. Eventually, you're going to hit a critical mass where you're just breezing through everything like a physical god for the most part. No, you got hit with dart. They both did. Nice crit. Yeah. But we're not there yet. And I'm pretty sure... Yeah, we're off. And I took the wrong path. It's been a while since I played this. Shame on me. I know better. These guys, again, are super easy. But we're going to have some hard times until we hit that point of critical mass. Another preemptive strike. Don't mind if I do. I think the ghouls do paralysis, which can really suck. And since I mentioned before, enemy packs tend to be bigger. So you can run into a group of just all ghouls that just stun lock your entire party. And it's a horrible, miserable time. Okay, there's 3 chests here. Might as well grab them. And paralyzed, which not going to make a big difference here, but yeah, I don't know why the undead should never flee. I'm sorry. At no point should a skeleton go, God, this isn't going our way. We should probably run away. Never ever. Missed. Poisoned? Yep. Yeah, I should have run away. Well, they would have gone first anyway, so with a small group like that, it's kinda not worth running on. Okay, you're down by 30, you're down by 8. And we'll spend another one on you, because I do have to manage this here. A broadsword, of which we already bought 2. I suppose we could have saved a little bit of gold and, not got one for the red wizard, but oh, this is gonna suck. Except it tried to run away. Oh, that saved us some pain. Still disappointing, though. Potion. Yeah, paralyzed. Saw that coming. So this is what sucks when you do a solo run. If we were doing a fighter only, or a thief, or black belt only, that paralysis would have been the end. Because he would just never snap out of paralysis and slowly get chewed to death by everybody else. If you're playing a mage, specifically a white mage or black mage, you're more than likely not going to get paralyzed because they have really good magic defense and it's harder to stick status effects on them. Poisoned? Surprisingly enough, no. But for anybody else, that encounter right there is a death sentence. I don't see a need to run from you guys. Okay, Sukka's gotten a couple of crits recently, which is surprisingly gratifying, I must say. Okay. Oh, I don't want to deal with this just because there's 3 different ways for me to get poisoned. One very damage resistant enemy. I don't want to. Okay. One chest here, one chest at the far end. 2 there. These are going to start getting into like that right there in the middle. That is our target. There's a chest on those. These down here are all locked. And we don't have the key yet. Phoenix down. Still not used to seeing those in this particular game. I don't think they became a thing until Final Fantasy 3. Maybe 2. I'm going to be completely honest, I'm not super familiar with 2, so when we play 2 after this, You're going to have to bear with me because I'm not really going to know what I'm doing a lot of the time. Oh. Oh, no. No, no, no. I do not want that. Okay, stop hitting my guys. Jesus, they hit like trucks. And they do poison. And they're heavily armored. Because, of course, they are. And I'm already seeing the problem of me not bringing enough antidotes. And give you one as well. Okay, we may have to be less greedy. That's it. And maybe pursue a few less chests. Okay. Preemptive strike. That's a free runaway. Some money. So one thing I don't think I mentioned is that Final Fantasy I has a thing called linked chests. Basically, two chests in a dungeon are linked, and depending on which one you grab the first time depends on what's in the second one. So the first one might have a potion, and the other one's going to have 1,000 gold or something like that. You have to grab both chests to get that 1,000 gold, because the first one is always going to have the potion. And it doesn't matter on which of the chests you grab. At least as far as I'm aware, that's how it's supposed to work. That still might be an issue of it was supposed to be implemented and it didn't. So I don't know. So sometimes you're gonna go, you'll be in an advanced dungeon like, oh, look, I got this chest that had a potion in it. Hooray! And then you find this link chest and it's like 17,000 gold in it. You're like, oh, awesome! But then again, you're also not in a position where you need the money anymore. Okay, strength, intellect, and luck, which is not bad. He got 28 HP, which is nice. Good HP boost there with strength and intellect. That's all right. Okay, good HP for Lamora. He got everything but stamina. That's beautiful. You finally got a big HP boost. Thank you, suck. 13 and 13 and 8. All right. Okay, I'm gonna run down this way. And more of you guys. And another crit. And a crit from Lamora. Going strong. Okay. A copper armlet. Now, the copper armlet... Yeah, his base naked defense is now higher than that. It is good for Lamora because it weighs less, so he's going to get more evasion, so he's got a 30% chance to dodge attacks, which is nice at the same defense. And it's not worth trying to switch it for the chainmail to iron armor. So that's not terrible, but that is usually better if you've got a pure mage in the party, because that's a big boost to them. Should probably give Suck a couple of potions. Now that I think about it. You know what? Everybody gets a potion because you guys got no HP. Just keep you topped off. A cottage and a potion. Okay. We're going to fight the wizards first. This is going to suck. So, it's a random... It used to be a random number of wizards. You get anywhere between 2 to 5 or 6 of them. I never saw 9 in the old version. However, now we're going to drop a quick save here, because I don't feel like doing all this over again. There are always going to be 4 of them. Never more, never less. And they hit like absolute psychos. 2 hits, 100 damage. Just like that, Lamora's dead. Okay, this should soften them up a bit. They have like 80 HP or something like that, so they're not like super crazy. But I don't want to have to deal with an odd amount of HP, so we're going to do this and then try to heal him. Okay, that's one dead. He's up. Let's get the heal on him. That's not a lot, but alright, everybody, stomp this monkey. Alright, that's a good amount of money and some good XP too. I honestly thought they might just murder everybody. Because, yeah, Arthur's only taking like 4 damage per hit from him. But if they get a crit, they're just doing full damage to him, and they will honestly just beat him to death. And Suck didn't get hit once, which is awesome. And Lamora, he took a little nap, but he's okay. Now, the fun part is after you've gone through all this, and you've dealt with all this, and you've burned all your resources, then you got to make your way back out. Which is sometimes easier said than done. Money, and I think there's probably just money in this last one. God, no! Get away from me, scorpions. I don't like you. You're bad. And poisoned. You know what? That's fine. I am okay with him being poisoned. We have antidotes for a reason. And a potion. So that probably wasn't worth it. But like I said, 1, 2, 3 chests down here. We can't get to them yet. They are locked tight. I can kill the gargoyles. Probably easier to kill them than try to run, honestly. Especially if they throw all their physical attacks into Arthur, who just does not care because he's wearing the equivalent of an Abrams tank around his butt. Not so great when Suck gets hit, though. Because it's going to be a long ways before Suck gets better armor. Oh, for God's sakes. And poisoned again. So like I said, if there's a chance for him to get poisoned, he will be poisoned. We didn't run away. There we go. So, honestly, it might have been better to just attack at that point. Yeah, we're running low. I think we should still have enough to make it out of here in one piece, though. No, we don't want that. We don't want to fight those things. That's the same problem with scorpions. They eat physical attacks like it's freaking candy, and they poison you. I don't want to fight these guys either. I didn't get poisoned. That's good. Okay, let's get here. Now these guys, I'll fight these guys. Relatively easy to deal with, all things considered. That cost us a potion as opposed to fighting the slimes or the scorpions costing us potions and antidotes. And we're just about out of here. You know what? I don't trust this. Paralyzed. Okay, so no more paralysis. Yeah. So barely better than his physical attack, but he did it to everybody. That was with the zombies being 50% weak to fire, which means that they took 50% more damage off of that attack. It wasn't a lot. Okay, Suck, it'd be really nice if you got the spell off first. You can't really time it. I got really lucky on that Phoenix down and heal spell, though, because if the heal spell had gone off first, it would have been wasted and he would have had 1 HP. Now, thankfully, they didn't hit him again because he would have simply exploded into goo. But still. Okay, we're heading back to Elfland. As we're going to invest some of this money that we just made. A bunch of normal wolves and a warg wolf. This is fine. You can deal with this simply enough. Time will come when we look back on these difficulties and laugh. But that's not going to happen today, though, because, oh my god, this is just a beautiful bonanza right here. And I'm not going to worry about it. The spell's not going to do anything. We're just going to do what we do best. We're going to hit things until they die. This is a very hitty squad. Mostly because we don't have all the options for them yet, because they haven't gotten a class progression yet. But the other thing is, too, is our only source of magic right now is Suck, and Suck's not very good at magic. Alright, how are we doing for money? We have almost 11,000 gold. Let's go spend some of that. Okay, so we got the level 3 spells. Can you cast level 4 yet? Yes, you can. You got 2 castings level 4. Fan-frickin-tastic, because there is one level 4 spell that we cannot do without for the rest of this playthrough when it comes to bosses, which is haste. If you don't have haste, you're not going to win any of the boss fights. Just... that's it. You're done. What haste does is it doubles the number of attacks you have. So right now, Lamora and Jet are doing 4 attacks. With that, they'll do 8. I fully maxed out Black Belt Master, who does 8 attacks, will do 16. No, they do 16 because they're supposed to have 2 hands. It'll double them to 32. Everybody else hits 16. Okay, no Frost. We don't need it right now. Box is absolutely useless because, one, there's a very cheap item that was added into the game that didn't exist before that'll let you get rid of silence called Echo Weed. That's whatever. Fear, it just makes them all try to run. They all do that now anyway, so this spell is kind of pointless. And why would I spend 2,500 gold when I can spend 60 gold on an antidote? And I can get a lot of antidotes for 2,500 gold. So, yeah. Not super useful. I'm tempted to get this because Astos can throw ice spells at us. Honestly, God, I don't think we need to right now. I'm going to hold off. Alright, so that's taken care of. Now I've got to make a decision. So, there are a couple of level 2 spells that we can pick up, specifically Temper and Ice. And maybe Anti-Fire. And we're going back to the port. Let's see what we do here. Oh, I didn't grab any more potions. We'll probably be okay. If need be, we can hit the starting town for a cheap night's rest. Oh, we leveled up. Okay, strength and agility, stamina. That goes into his defense. Don't ask me what the formula for it is, but it does work. That's a good thing. Wow. Lamora got squat. 2 HP, no stats. That's a bad level up. 3 HP, agility, stamina, and luck. Okay. I'll work with that. Bunch of Sahagin. We're just going to hit him with a Thundara. See how well this works. He should be able to finish off the surviving 3 after everybody else has had a chance to go. Yeah, okay. That's not too bad. Again, weakness to electricity because they're water creatures, so he did 50% more damage than he normally would have done. So his base damage with that was like 45. You know what, just do it again. Just do it again and all will be well. Oh wow, he got the red Sahag too. I think that's called a Sahag Chief, I don't remember. I'll take a little hit from my strawberry banana smoothie that I'm working on today. It's very filling, but it's got sugar in it, and I'm a diabetic, so I have to be careful. So no other sugar for me today. All right, come on, get out of the way. Come on, out of the way. There we go. Okay, so Temper is a spell that we are going to use and abuse constantly. Blizzard is, I want to say it's 40 to 60 ice damage to a single target, so against things that are weak to ice, like in, say, the volcano, that's pretty useful. Not a lot of things that are weak to it, but we're going to grab it anyway just for completion's sake. And now we need to, I got to remember where the white spells are. I think they're higher. Yep, they're there. Oh, it's Null Shock. Who has Null Fire? Visibility might be good. Silence is actually really useful, so we're going to grab Silence. If I could get a Silence on Astos, low chance of it happening, but if I could, breathtaking. Absolutely breathtaking in its ability to lock that little bugger down. Then he just has his multiple attacks and paralysis hit. I just hit these guys. Come on, go fast. Love the fact that they have speed up in this, which is super useful. You can go into the game files and tweak it so that it actually goes faster than this. Blue Anklo, who is one of my favorite Final Fantasy YouTubers, has done that for his playthroughs. I don't feel comfortable doing it. I don't know enough about that sort of stuff, and I would probably do something to break the game. I have to uninstall it. I don't want to mess with it. So, we're going to avoid doing that. Hey, Buccaneers! They're not called Kaizoku anymore, they're Buccaneers. These guys are good for money. As long as they don't run away. Which I know. They shouldn't be running away until I hit like level 20 or something, but yeah, 600 gold off them for a super easy fight that was barely an inconvenience. I will take it every day of the week. I will even take it twice. Ah, I'm overran. Damn it. They shouldn't be doing that. I know I've said that multiple times already, but Squaresoft, when they did the Pixel Remaster, they broke that system, and for the life of me, I cannot understand how they pulled it off. It's ridiculous. Okay. We're going to grab some potions here and some more antidotes because we might need them. We're probably definitely going to need the antidotes for a while. That being said, high potions are an option. 150 XP versus 50. I don't think we're in a position where we need to start worrying about high potions yet. We will soon, but not right now. So let's see, we've got 9. Let's grab 21. And how many antidotes? We got 3. We used 7 out of our 10. So, or did I get 20? I don't remember. I got a lot of them. You know, we're gonna grab 17. Yeah, 30 and 20 should be good. We have a cottage. We're gonna grab an extra tent. That should be good. Don't need high potions yet. I'm not gonna bother with ethers. So I'm not super I'm not a super big fan of having some of the extra stuff like Phoenix Downs, Eye Drops, Echo Grass, Gold Needles, Remedies. I really wish that they could have given us I don't know, call it a hardcore mode if you want, where it's just the old Final Fantasy from '87 with the updated graphics and mechanics, but just the same stuff, if that makes any sense. Because the only new things that they added were the items. There's no new weapons or armor, as far as I'm aware. There's no new class mechanics, it's just fixing things that were broken. And they added that you can always run. They added the retargeting after an enemy's been killed, stuff like that. And that stuff's all good. I like that stuff. But the game is a lot easier than it used to be, like I've mentioned. Is that a big deal? No. But, I don't know. I'm old and cranky about things that have been changed that didn't need to be changed, I suppose. But what happens when you get over 40? So. We hack through these guys pretty quick. So, little thing about Astos before we go fight him, because this is kind of important. So, he is technically the first real boss. The wizards weren't. Garland is kind of like a mini-boss, or a really powerful monster, but Astos is the first official boss. And the reason being is that he is a boss and he can do magic. That is, in at least my determination, what a boss needs to be. It needs to be capable of doing magic. Now, Astos' spell list is absolutely ridiculous. He can cast haste on himself, so he gives himself more attacks, and he has a paralysis touch, so the more attacks, the more chances he has to paralyze you. He has Fire 2, Lightning 2, and I want to say Ice 2. Not super positive about that last one. He's got Slow, Sleep, Blind, and more importantly, he has an insta-death spell, which used to be called Rub, now I think it's called XXXX. It just kills you. It is sudden and instant death if it lands. Now, because of the way the formulas worked in the original game, he would run through his entire spell list top to bottom. The first spell that he had was Rub, so he would always insta-kill a member of the party unless it missed. And then he would just run down his spell list. Now it's random, so he may not ever cast a spell when we fight him. I have no way of telling, but I am going to try to silence him, which has a very low chance of it working. But, yeah. Somehow by using the Elven Crown in Matoya's Crystal Eye, he was going to become King of the Elves. I don't know how that would work, since the Elves would probably just gank him. But, you know, he's a brave little bugger. Let's try to silence him. Okay, he didn't open with insta-death, and he didn't paralyze Arthur, so that's good. And silence missed. But we are walloping the nonsense out of him. And he's got like 450 HP or something like that. Yeah, we're going to try silence again, because if I get silence off... Oh, God. Okay, Dark. Dark's okay. That lowers our accuracy, which means we're going to get less attacks in and do less damage. Missed again. Alright. Yeah, he missed. One attack. He's got to be running low on health, though. Yeah, we are going to haste Remora, because he has the most accuracy. Even lowered, he should be the best one off. Death. Fuck. There's a hit? Yeah, it hit. Ah, for God's sakes. And Sleep, which is probably going to miss... Oh, no, I got those two. So, this is relatively bad. Slow, so less hits. Yeah, Sleep only lasted for... It took a single one of their turns, but it did not progress. Sleep used to progress, so that's kind of busted, too. You know, hit him with the fire. Or he could hit us with Thundara. That's enough. Missed again. Okay. This is not good. No paralysis. 1 hit for 10 damage. 3 hits for 30. Eh, he's dead. Okay, cool. Yeah, so Arthur's dead until I raise him. Gonna be honest with you, not chill with the idea of Arthur getting killed here. One, I'd like to keep them all even leveled, but I also means I have to run away, or else the gap is just going to extend. We're gonna try that again. See if we can pull it off. I'd like to get I'd like to have all 4 alive when we do this. It's not a massive requirement moving forward, but it is a preferment. So I would prefer to keep them alive. So the funny thing is that you're supposed to talk to Astos, also known as the Old King, before you go to the Marsh Cave, but no one ever tells you to. Okay, so we're going to try the same thing that we did before. And hopefully this time it works. We're going to go for the silence. Try to shut down all of his spellcasting. Miss. Yeah, fuck. Well, that missed at least. Alright, you know what? We're just going to do this. I would really, really like to avoid that. If at all possible. It may not be possible. Now after this, we can do a quick Kansas City shuffle, give a bunch of people a bunch of things, and then move on with our day. But I need to get past this fight, and I'd like to do it without him hitting, Arthur with an instant death spell. We're not even going to worry about silent. We're just going to haste. Which might have been a good idea. I was really hoping I could pull up the bestiary from the pause menu. You can't. Death on... Oh, okay, Death missed this time. Cool. So it should be a while before... He will not cast the same spell back to back. He has to, from what I understand, go through his entire spell menu before he starts over. Not that that's going to particularly matter at this point. But he doesn't really have anything super nasty that he can throw at us now. So ideally, we should just be able to beat him to death now. Or maybe they changed that mechanic too. Son of a gun. Dead. For God's sakes. Okay, this is the last time I'm going to try this. Maybe I should be trying to silence him. I don't know. I've done it before. It's very rare that you can pull it off, but... Real quick, I want to see what I'm working with our buddy here. Let's see. Where is the bestiary right there? Okay, so like Garland had 212 HP, which was up from his 120 in the base game. Let's see. Astos. 420 HP. He's rocking that 420. He can drop a mithril sword, which is not going to happen. His magic defense is 170, that's why it's so difficult to peg him with a silent spell. No weaknesses, no resistances. So if he was resistant to any of the control spells like silence or anything like that, they would just automatically fail. He doesn't have any elemental weaknesses, he's not anything like that. So we should be able to tag him with a silence. It's just that 170 magic defense is just going to mess us up. And also notice, our characters, you can't tell what their magic defense is. They have one. I don't know what it is. But we're going to let the chips fall where they may. This will be the last time we try this. Astos is also one of the major chokeholds for a solo playthrough, because what are you going to do when he just insta-kills you? Or you're slowed, blinded, paralyzed, and he's just chipping you to death. Thundara, he opened with Thundara. That's actually kind of bad for us. But we'll get a full amount of hits in, so... Oh my god, we landed the silence. That is amazing. Hey, maybe we'll get that Mithril Sword drop too. That would be nice. Kill himself more than anything else. So he's down 200 HP at this point. I'm not really keeping track. Fire it. Doesn't work. Slow rut, no effect, because he's been silenced, which is amazing. Okay, so he can't one-shot us anymore with a physical attack on our weaker characters, so at this point, it's just a beating. Done. Alright, Arthur, redeemed for the 3 or 4 times he auto-killed your ass. That's beautiful. Okay, cool. Oh, and we got the Mithril Sword. Okay. Apparently, 4th time is the charm, I think we did this. So, yeah. No, that is, that best possible outcomes all around. Let me show you why. Because you used to be able to buy a Silver Sword at Elf Town. That was a glitch. Now it's only available in Crescent Lake, which is like 2 towns away. But that is a massive, massive jump for Arthur. Oh, and real quick, before I forget, let's use a cup. No, we'll use a tent when we get outside. It'll be fine. We're gonna have to come back here anyway once we get the Mystic Key. All right, so let's use a tent. Okay, everybody is topped off. We're going to drop a save here because I don't want to have to run that risk again. Cool. So yeah, no, that worked out perfectly. I couldn't have asked for a better outcome. Yeah, look at that jump in damage. It's ridiculous. It's beautiful, and I love it. So, at this point, it's kind of a courier game at this point, so we're going to take the crystal out of Matoya. Matoya is going to give us a Jolt Potion. It used to be an herb. We're going to wake up the Elf King. We're going to get a Mystic Key. We're going to go around a lot of places and open up a lot of chests, ending at the Dwarf Hold, where we get to blow open a canal. Oddly enough, Provoca is the one town that we have no reason to backtrack to. Like, ever again. Yeah, he's one-shotting ogres now. It's beautiful. The cool thing is... Let's put him back on the broadsword for a second. He can't use it, but he can. And it gives him pretty much the same buffs, 29 and 30. Yeah, 32 and yeah. So it's all good. Well, I don't know why the thief can't use it. He used to be able to use a silver sword, I think. Not super certain, to be honest. Okay, Suck, it'd be real nice if you went first. Or not. Whatever. I'm not going to waste another attack on these guys. Alright, good HP, strength, stamina, and intellect. Intellect's not bad for him, for reasons we'll find out later. Wow. Jet did not do great on that. But Lamora did. He got a good strength, HP boost, he got some strength, some intellect, and a lot of luck. And Suck continues to eke his way through life. So yeah, I couldn't have asked for better. Dodged, got the silence on him, got the mithril sword. That is the best you can hope for. That's not going to make the rest of this easy, but it's going to make the next couple of stages a little bit easier. The shark's trying to run away. That's ridiculous. I think we're level 14. Yeah, we got a potion. Hurrah. So back to Matoya. Now keep in mind, you could have gone and bypassed Matoya entirely. You had no reason to speak to her. And as far as I'm aware, and I could be forgetting, there are no prompts for you to talk to her. And I'm pretty sure in the old translation, she even tells you, I will give you something to help the elven prince if only you give me my eye, kind of thing. You're making all these trades, but you actually have to have outsider knowledge of why you should be making those trades for it to matter. So. And we're doing good on money again, which is nice. Oh, that's a lot of Sahagin. Okay, Suck, you want to just sweep the board? That'd be nice. God, did they all go first before us? Yeah, they did. Doesn't matter, though. I have a mage and you do not. Hey, never say no to some free money from some Buccaneers, assuming they don't run off. Nice. You know, we're going to grab a quick nap for cheap before moving on. Real quick, just out of curiosity. So let's see, attack at 32, actually 30. He's doing really good on that. Yeah, so his defense is 10. He has 16 stamina and he's level 14. Like I said, I don't know how the math plays out on that, but he's got more defense than the thief does wearing leather armor, or his copper armor rather. Yeah, if I gave him, he could wear leather armor and his stats, his defense would actually go down. So, the funny thing is that the game doesn't tell you that. You're like, oh, he can use nunchucks, he can use staves, you know, he can wear armor. I'm going to put that on him, and you're actually kind of nerfing him a bit. Towards the end of the game, you're going to want to give him certain things like a ribbon that protects him from status effects. Something that gives him protection from insta-death. At that point, because his stats are going to go down anyway, you're going to give him some armor. But it's pretty light armor, so it doesn't affect him too bad. But for most of the game, the black belt has everything he needs. Well, didn't get poisoned. That's a shock. Alright. Now, for some odd reason, the elves made this structure a little bit offset, which kind of throws me off a bit, but whatever. Talk to him. Waken the prince, because he's under a curse. Because he comes from a world of Disney, apparently. I was having a terrible nightmare. Am I still dreaming? You're the legendary warrior. Something tells me I'm not dreaming. So heed the legend as was told to me and my forefathers. The time for me to pass on the mystic key to its rightful owners has come at last. Okay, we're good. Yep. I always do that. It is really easy when you're using the thumbstick because you can move diagonally now. And you couldn't do that to overshoot that. You gotta walk around the corner here. Okay, a mithril hammer, some money, some bronze gloves. He can use the mithril hammer, but I don't know why you'd want to. And no one else can use the hammer. It's really for the white mage more than anything else. Although the fighter being the fighter, they can use whatever the hell they want. Okay, so there's some stuff back in the Western Keep. There's some stuff in the Marshlands Cave. I don't think I want to... let's dive back into Marsh and just get all the items there, just for the sake of completion. They might have something decent down there. I don't remember what's in there, because I don't usually complete all of the stuff in Marsh Cave, because you don't really need to. But I'd like to get the achievement for getting all the items in the game, if I haven't done so already. I can't remember. We'll just go down a couple of levels, hit those last 3 chests, and call it a day. And promptly get poisoned by the werewolves. Ah, stupid werewolves. More werewolves. Honestly, they're annoying, but not super annoying. So there is a sword called the Werebane sword, I think it is. And it does additional damage against were creatures, of which, to my knowledge, there are only 2 types in the game. There's the werewolf, and there's the werecat. Neither of which are that much of a threat, unless they're in high numbers. And the werewolf's main threat is the fact that it can poison you. The werecat's main issue is that it can throw fireballs at you, which is a little bit more dangerous. In either case, having a weapon solely purposed towards fighting were creatures is not super useful. It doesn't do less damage than everybody else, it just does extra damage against enemies of those types. But still, it's like, alright, I've got that, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Let's sell it, maybe. Okay, almost there. For God's sakes, with all these ambushes, Thief is really letting us down today. And it ran away. Okay, I don't know what's in this chest. There's monsters in that chest. I was not expecting wizards. This is When did I last save it? You can't run away from these guys. Ah, this is going to be really bad. If they freaking team up on somebody and beat him to death. Just keep going after Arthur. He's got all the armor. Thank you. You now have my permission to die. Wow, a full round and we killed 2 of them. That's not super good. 84. Okay, went after Arthur. That's fine. I was not expecting wizards in that chest, and we did all that for an antidote, mind you. Oh, that was terrible and horrible. Okay, this may not be worth it. 1 on that side, 1 on that side. We'll hit the one that's closest to us on the left first. Yeah, no, that, I was not expecting that. Not a great level for HP, but you did get some real stamina, same agility, and now you got 3 stats. I'll take that. Not a great HP level for anybody, though. So it used to be that the game had trap tiles. If you stepped over specific tiles of the dungeon, you would get attacked by whatever was placed on that trap tile. And you could do it multiple times. They changed them to monsters that you can see and they only happen once. I don't know what this is. Could be wizards. It could be a frickin' gas dragon. I don't know. It's wizards. Okay. But we're in a lot better position HP-wise, so this isn't going to be as bad as it was last time. Unless I get a bunch of crits and just beat Arthur to death, which... Ow! It's very possible. Just gonna whack 80 HP off him just like that. Come on. That probably wasn't the best idea. But hey, you know what? We've got 19,000 gold right now, so we're doing good. And more monsters, more wizards. Anacondas, which are weak to ice, which I don't have. I have an ice spell, but we'll hit them with a... You know what? No, we're just going to hit them in melee. I can't remember if these things can poison you or not. They shouldn't. The cobras poison you, the anacondas don't. They can hit really hard, apparently. God damn. The jet just got chewed to death. And a silver armlet. Okay, so this is actually an upgrade. It's the equivalent of chainmail, but it only weighs a pound. So now they have the same defense. That would even work well on Jet, because that would kick him up to 17 as well, I think. No, because he's getting... It would kick him up to 15 because he's getting a point from his leather cap and a point from his gloves, but still. So that was actually worth digging into. Now we just have the last chest at the far end, and then we have to get out of here. Luckily, gargoyles aren't going to be that big a deal. I don't want to fight scorpions. Oh, well, apparently they don't want to fight me either. That's kind of nice. And of course he's poisoned. Oh, well. Might as well get him. And they can't poison Arthur twice. And they're not really good for gold or experience, so... What you gonna do? Go. For crying out loud. At least he missed. Oh, this looks shiny. Let's quick save, because I don't know what we're getting into again. It might just be more wizards. I guess 4 wizards? Yeah, look at that. 4 wizards. Yeah, at least it's consistent. They are slowly beating Arthur to death. Down. Hopefully the other 2 can take out 2 more. Lamora, seriously? You have failed this city, buddy. That's better. Real swingy on the damage. Okay, was this worth it? I wonder. No, not really. I didn't probably need to waste potions there, but whatever. Alright, so that is the Marsh Cave completely done in. 18 out of 18. We got 3 in the Western Keep. Elven Castle's done. Matoya's Cave is done. Chaos Shrine. Not going to be working on that for a while. And we got a Castle Corneria. And 8 chests out of Mount Dwarger. Okay, so. Alright, we can do this. I'm going to use my last fire spell here. Paralyzed! Why not? Yeah, sleep got busted, but paralysis stays champion of the... It really sucks to get hit with this status effect. No, no. No, no, run away. Thank you. Maybe I should have named my thief Brave Sir Robin. Because he is really good at running away from things. That's kind of like his only claim to fame. At least originally that's the way it was supposed to work. So the thief has the highest amount of luck. And like I said before, that's supposed to allow him to get better preemptive attacks for the group. And it's supposed to be easy for him to run away. Except that mechanic was broken. So he wound up not being good at anything. I think they tuned him up a little bit too high. Because he's probably one of the best characters in the game now. Honestly, pound for pound at level 99, I think he probably is the best character. And that's mainly because the best weapon in the game can be used by anybody. You give it to a white mage and just watch him just rock the Casbah along with everybody else. But just in terms of stats and what they can do, they don't take damage as well as the fighter, or the warrior rather. But if you get everybody to level 99, they're probably going to have 999 hit points just like everybody else. They easily hit as hard. So they don't take damage quite as well. That's like the only thing that they don't have going for them. It's really not a big deal. I can just get rid of them. Alright, nice and easy. Well, this might potentially suck. Paralyzed? No. Surprisingly enough, he wasn't paralyzed. That's okay. Okay, we're out, and we're heading to the Western Keep. These are both optional. We're not going to get anything life-shatteringly important out of these dungeons. But since we're here, I just kind of figured. After this is just Cornelia and the Dwarven Stronghold, and we're solid, so. The main thing is we're going to need a lot of money. Not as much money as we normally would, because most of the best stuff that we're going to have is going to come out of chests. But when it comes to spells, they are expensive. And there's a couple of items that you can only get through purchasing, and they are very expensive as well. Okay, these are all trapped. Memory serves. I don't remember what wraiths do. I think they do paralysis, or they just hit really hard. I'm not sure which. And if you're getting 11 damage on Arthur at this point, you do hit very hard because he has massive defenses. Yeah, there's that paralysis. I'm surprised that took so long. Crossier. It's an iron staff. Falchion. Okay, so Falchion, not nearly as good as the Mithril Sword, but it's better for the Thief. And I'll take that. Let's see. You know what? I think he could stand to have a potion. Or two. Everybody else is good. Mummies! Okay. These guys can put you to sleep, and I think they can do magic. And I'm out of level 3 spells. Shame on me. Okay. Yeah, they hit hard and they can put you to sleep. Oh, he's gonna die. Ain't really a lot I can do about that. Oh, he's up. Okay, cool. And we got a level up. Good rolls all around. He got good HP. He got some decent stats. Decent stats, but crap HP. Good HP. Hey, you know what? For suck, I'll take it. The Power Staff. So the Power Staff doesn't actually do anything. It's a staff with good attack power, but this is actually better. And we're going to actually have him use this for a second. Just out of curiosity. We are desperately running low on potions. I'll have to buy some more. Now we'll use a tent on our way out. Oh, look, more mummies. This is terrible. Let's see what this Crossier does. I never use items on the black belt because, like I said, he hits with both hands. And we're not going to find out because he's going to go to sleep. Okay. 56 ain't terrible. Steel gloves. So we already got another upgrade for the warrior. I have to keep reminding myself he's not a fighter, he's a warrior. Can't use. Okay, I figured that was going to be the case. Alright, let's get out of here. So nothing here was super necessary for us. Yeah, definitely stuff we could have gone without. The Power Staff sells for a ridiculous amount of money. It's like 10 grand or something like that, which is always nice. And we're going to drop a save here just because I don't want to have to run into something and have to do it all over again. So I am curious about something. I'm going to use this ogre as a test case. 2 hits for 42 damage. Four hits for 98 damage. Why would you not just have the monk do it barehanded? So, also out of curiosity, now that we're talking about it, yeah, so his accuracy is 24, so he gets 2 normal attacks, but he does get 4 unarmed attacks, because like I said, he's using both hands. So, in either case, he's hitting for a little bit more per hit, but he's doing 2 hits less, so it's like it's chopping his DPS in half. And again, one of the biggest issues is that the game doesn't tell you any of this. You just have to figure it out on your own. And at the age of 7, when this game came out, I didn't know enough to make those decisions. Just by 90. There, max them out. And we're fine on antidotes. We want a couple more 10s though. Okay. So I didn't know. The only reason I realized how dangerous the monk was without his weapons on was, got to a certain point and I was looking at the stats and I noticed that they had different strength scores. And I'm like, okay, cool. I don't know what this means. I'm going to test it out. What I did was I took all their gear off and I had them go fight some goblins outside of Corneria. And I want to see, it's like, okay, how much does damage do when it comes to deflecting damage with the armor? Okay, everybody's about the same. Black belt's doing a lot less damage. Okay, cool. Let's see how well they do just punching things using their raw strength. They do pretty good. These guys are all like level 15, level 20 at this point. So the fighter punches and he does like 100 damage with a couple attacks, which is pretty neat. The thief completely whiffed because the thief sucked back then. The monk, on the other hand, because I was doing a fighter, monk, thief, and wizard, the black belt hit for like 6 attacks and did something around the lines of like 1,000 damage. I'm like, okay, so he never gets his stuff back ever. And the wizard hit for like 5 damage because he's a spindly little wizard. Whatever. He's not there to throw hands. He's there to, throw spells. Really, in the harbor, no less. Alright, let's raid the Royal Treasury. Again. Cottage, a saber, a mithril knife. Yeah. The saber is actually worse, so really glad I didn't buy one. Mithril knife is for the black mage. It does have more accuracy though, so he might actually squeak out an extra attack on that. But that's not what we're really here for. Tent. Nitro powder. This has been renamed so many times. So originally it was TNT. Then it was dynamite in one of the PlayStation ports in Iron Armor, which you already have. And now it's nitro powder. It makes things go boom. There you go. Take a quick run up to the Chaos Shrine because there's a sword there that I desperately want. 1 Goblin Guard. Employee of the month right there, kids. Just rolled up on a heavily armed party and went, "Nyeh, give me your stuff." And then promptly exploded. Okay, none of these guys are a challenge. Okay, Rune Blade. So, it is weaker than a Mithril Sword, but effective against spellcasters. So that is pretty much every boss from here till the Heat Death of the Universe is a spellcaster. And I believe they all have the tag for spellcasters. He can use it, and so can he. So 25 and 49, 25 and 34. So we're going to give it to Lamora, because he's going to get more out of it for the time being. Then it looks kind of cool too. It has. I like the fact that the weapon icons are different. I'm actually surprised none of these guys are trying to run away. Oh, there it is. You know, his buddy's left standing. He's like, "What about me?" Then promptly explodes because you know, Jet punched him like 9 million times and blew up his heart. Yes, he is also hitting harder than Arthur is now. Those extra attacks matter. The Werebuster and a Gold Needle. It is what it is. So, same thing as the Rune Sword as far as stats are concerned. Effective against beasts. I'm pretty sure that's only supposed to be Werebeasts, but this is the upgrade for a while for Suck. He's getting the sword that is effective against less things, but it still gives him a stat boost. Okay, so the last thing that we have on our list before we call it a day is we got to go over to the Dwarven Keep. It's funny too. You do like a solo white mage or a solo black mage. Goblins are always a threat until you're like level 20. Because you got no good armor and you got crappy HP. Actually, the white mage does really well on HP growth nowadays. So maybe for the white mage it wouldn't be as much of a difficulty. But for the black mage, with his 1 or 2 spells a day starting out, a horde of goblins is a death sentence. Now, how much money do we have right now? 24th. Almost 25,000. Let's make it 25,000. There we go, 25,000. Oh, preemptive strike. That's just sweet of you. And a free potion. I'll take it. Yeah, at this point, groups like this have stopped being threats and they're just obstacles. And they're honestly not even really worth fighting. It's just the way the running mechanic works, it's faster to kill them than it is to try to run away from them, even at lower levels. And again, this is a game about resource management. It costs me less potions to kill them than to run away. Alright, another tent. A great helm. That gives a pretty decent boost. The Worm Killer. So this is the Dragon Slayer sword. Which again, not as good, but it's effective against dragons. You're not going to run into enough dragons for it to really matter. It might be good against Tiamat, but at that point you're going to be hitting other spells. I think that was a potion. Mithril Mail, which... I don't remember who can wear Mithril Mail. Can you wear Mithril Mail? Yes, you can. Okay. So, that helps him out quite a bit there. I don't think he can. Actually, I'm curious now. No, he can't. Okay. Money and a cottage. So, nothing exactly blowing my shorts off. Got 2 upgrades out of it. Nitro Powder. The explosive force in this powder will make a canal open in no time flat. I owe you, Barnes. I do a terrible Dwarven accent. It's supposed to be Scottish. I do it very well. A very good Irish accent. My Scottish accent has something to... Yeah, it's not very good. Although I will say, one of my old jobs, I was doing Irish accents in my workday. I was working the register at a restaurant. And I actually convinced someone from Ireland that I was from Ireland because my accent was decent enough. I'm still proud about that. So there was actually a cutscene video that they made for the PlayStation 1 port, I do prefer this. Old version, the screen shook for a second and it was done. And you didn't actually see the canal get blown open or anything like that. Alright, and he vanishes, never to be seen again. Since there are plenty of nasty things on the other side of this canal, I'm assuming something ate him. I know that's not very charitable, but he's a dwarf. He's got little legs. He's not going to be able to run away. Okay, one last thing, and then we turn it off. After I cut my way through a bunch of wolves that should know better by now. I do wish I could run on the overworld map or go a little bit faster. Okay. So hogs. Come on, you sea devils. And we're through the canal. And we're off to our next town. The town of Melmont. Ooh, got a saber out of that. Nice. Supposing that's supposed to be a cutlass or something. And this is where we're going to save it. Hope that you guys enjoyed this. This probably went a little bit longer than it probably should have, but we made a lot of progress. We knocked out the Marsh Cave. We took out Astos. We did the shuffle. Got all the things that we can currently get. A couple of things in the Chaos Shrine that we can't get right now. And we'll move on to our next set. So we made a lot of progress today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.